Okay, today we're going to make an awesome red Thai curry. We're going to be featuring a honey mead from the Chinook Honey Company. They're right in between Black Diamond and Okotoks. Awesome place, you got to check it out. Go to their website or check them out on Facebook for all the details on when they're open. Also, check out this apron. Tracy over at 3G Embroidery in Okotoks, she made this up for me. It says not fancy, but guess what, I'm telling you what, this thing is fancy, it's awesome. They're still doing business. Tracy will answer the phone anytime you call. They're very happy to help you out. So for our red Thai curry, we're going to use a curry paste. It makes it super easy. This is not fancy. I'm telling you what, not only does it say it, but it isn't. A lot of people watch this and say, hey, that's not how you make curry. This is how I make curry, and it's really good. Put in some chicken, we're going to put in some tomatoes, we're going to put in some onions. We're going to mix it all together. We're going to use a curry paste, which gives us our flavor. And also we're going to add some coconut milk. So I'll just get that stuff together right now, start chopping up the chicken and get started. We'll grab the chicken. I already put it on a plate, took it out of the package. Stand up the edge on this thing. So with the chicken, what we're going to do is we're just going to cut it into manageable, maybe like even bite sizes, and then we're going to fry it up in some coconut oil. No rhyme or reason, I just make it bite sizes. Okay, so what I'm doing is just try to make them all the same size or close to it. Then they cook evenly. What we're gonna do is cook these things off first, and then we'll set them aside, and then we'll get started on our curry. A lot of talk about this thing. I don't know where I got it, but it is super handy. I don't even know what it's called, so sorry, I can't answer questions on this. But if you find one of these, you should buy one, they're amazing. That's hot. Ooh. For the record, I never put my knife in the dishwasher or any of my knives in the dishwasher. I wash them by hand with super hot water and some antibacterial soap, and then they stay nice and sharp and ready to use. Okay, grab some coconut oil, grease up the pan. Instead of using the plain yogurt, we're going to use coconut milk. And then instead of frying the chicken in any type of dairy product, we're going to use the coconut oil. Should be great. Now I'll just grab my spoon, my wooden spoon. Make sure this is evenly distributed. Okay, now I'll put in my chicken. As the pan heats up, I'll just start to turn it down a little bit so I don't burn them. I'm just going to use this so I don't get chicken heat all over the counter. That shouldn't take long. I'm going to spice it up. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just add some salt and pepper, and then the spices for the curry, we'll get that from the curry paste. Nice and even. Okay, I need another plate, put it on. When it's cooked, I'll throw it on this thing. Then I'll get started on the onions and the tomatoes and stuff. I'll throw some garlic in it too. Why not? We have some really cool naan bread. I didn't make it, but I just grabbed some garlic, cilantro, and we're gonna fry that up as well. And it's great on the side. So we'll have the curry over rice, with the naan bread and with the honey mead. I've worked up in oil camps and worked on the rigs and whatnot, and I've been to lots of places and been in lots of camp situations where the cooks are making different food, and even up on the ice roads, and a lot of people don't like curry, or they say they don't like curry. But then when they try like a mulligatawny soup or something like that, they lose their mind. They've never had that kind of flavor before. I would say if curry's not your dish, give it a shot because you might actually like it. Okay, so the chicken's almost done being fried or cooked up. And with the smell of the coconut oil and the salt and pepper and the chicken, it actually smells really good just like this. Wait till we put the curry paste in, it's gonna be wow. So the chicken's cooking off. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be chilled or not, but I'm sure it's good if it's cold. So I'm just gonna throw it in the fridge. So at the end of the show, we'll have it with our dish. Okay, so the chicken's done, and so what I'll do is I'll put it on this clean plate, and then I'm gonna get this pan ready, and I'm gonna put some onions in it, fry them up, get them softened, and I'll put in some garlic as well, and we'll go from there. One for the dog. Too hot. Okay, so I'm not going to clean this pan because you see, look down here, all the wonderful chicken bits and all the coconut oil and everything. I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna throw in some wine. What's that called when you do that with a pan? Anyway, I'll hit it with wine, and all the stuff comes out, and then I'm gonna cook the onions in that with all the stuff from the pan, which is gonna be amazing. That's where all your flavor comes from. We're gonna throw in, usually I use two yellow onions, but I only got like a bigger one and a small one, so I'll just throw in three. Two small ones and a big one. So I'm gonna chop them up. Just, right in the old carburetor. That humor. These onions, I don't know, I think I just dice them. Then they cook more evenly and faster. If that makes any sense? Maybe, maybe not. Little older onions, but that's fine because like with this recipe, use up when the tomatoes are about too ripe or whatever, that's when I use this stuff. I use up the old onions, everything, just cook it a lot, and tastes really good, but then you're not wasting any of the food. Throw it over here. Throw it on. You're gonna get the pan all heated up, and then I'm gonna hit it with the wine again. What is that called when you do that? And all the stuff comes off. I can't remember the word. Anyway, you can tell we're not fancy. Liam's gonna help me out in a second here with that word. So we just wanna get these translucent. We don't wanna overcook them. So now I'll hit it with the wine to deglaze the pan. I knew all along. See how the pan's all nice and clean now? So all that chicken flavor and all that coconut oil and all that stuff just came right up, and it's all into the onions now. Now we have a beautiful, yummy aroma happening here right now. I just had some leftover Riesling. It doesn't matter what white wine you use. If you're doing this type of meal, if you're doing like a red meat or something, you can use a red wine to deglaze your pan. But yeah, pretty cool. So now I'll just turn that off for a second and start working on my tomatoes. I got some vine ripe tomatoes here. They're getting a little soft, so I'm just gonna cut them up and throw them in there. I know some people like to boil them first, take off the skins, and then cut them up and then throw them in there. I'm just gonna throw them in with the skins on because we're not fancy. I just make them into bite-sized or manageable pieces. They cook down to almost nothing anyway. Is that juicy? Okay, this will go into the pan. Start cooking those down. Okay, then we'll add the chicken back in. Awesome. Start getting that going. Now I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. It'll give me some time to get my coconut milk ready and to get my curry paste ready to go. Okay, sweet. That smells amazing. Woo-wee. Like I said, it's one of our family favorites. Everyone loves this. We'll just add a couple of cloves of garlic for the flavor. You really smell it coming together. Okay, so now we'll just grab a can of coconut milk. We'll get that opened up and we'll add that. So with coconut milk, I probably talked about this before, is you'll get some really thick stuff on the top and then all the light stuff will be on the bottom. We don't need to worry about mixing it before we put it in. We'll mix it in the pan, it's no big deal. Haha, made a mess. Crap. That's all right. So now we're starting to get that consistency, everything mixed in and whatnot. Now we're gonna start adding some spices as soon as it starts heating up. See how the tomatoes have reduced as well? And they'll get even more reduced as we go. Just adding to that awesomeness, the flavor. Okay, we got some collateral damage to clean up here. Man, it went everywhere. Curry paste. So we are just using the Thai Kitchen, which is a red curry paste. And we'll add a couple of spoons in there. You're gonna ask me how much? I don't know. We'll go by how it looks, I think. There is ingredients on the bottle, but my arms aren't long enough anymore to be able to read something that small. So I just gotta make it up as I go along. Wow. Even before I put the curry paste in there, it's delicious. It's a really nice, kind of a rich, brothy flavor. It's pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna use this clean spoon and I'm gonna get some curry paste. See that? That's where all the magic happens. We'll try that first. See how that goes. No, it definitely needs more. A little more color to it. There we go. We'll let that cook. I'm just gonna add some chili flakes to it. Now I have to find it. Chili flakes, red pepper flakes right there. Of course, at the back. Holy moly! Okay. So you can add how much heat you want. Like by and large, just on its own, it's not very spicy. But you can just add as much as this as you would like to see in there. And this will give you added heat. It doesn't take away from the flavor too much. As you can see, we like it hot. Wow, it's going to be good. That's come together nicely. So now we'll just let this meld together as it simmers off here. And we'll start working on the rice, which is super easy, and then we'll fry up some bread and whatnot, and then pretty much ready to go. Like I said, it's super easy and definitely a family favorite. So now we're gonna make up some jasmine rice, and all we do is, we're just gonna do it in the microwave. We're not fancy. We're not gonna do a fancy rice cooker or anything like that, but we just throw it in the microwave. And while that's simmering off, it's cooking in the microwave. And I do it in 2 steps. I do the first one on really high, and that boils it, and then I go for 13 minutes. So first one is 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and boils it up on power 10. And then I put it down to power 4, and I go for 13 minutes, and that finishes cooking the rice. It turns out perfectly. I just use a bowl that has a cover, and then you can use 2 cups of rice and then 4 cups of water, or you can just use, we don't use a lot of rice, so we're just gonna throw in 1 cup of jasmine rice, and then we're gonna add 2 cups of water. Just like that. And throw that in there. Try not to overflow it. Okay, and then we just hit it with a little bit of salt. We like salt. And then I take a little bit of this vegan butter, so we're sticking to the dairy-free option here. You can use regular butter if you are not worried about dairy-free, but it doesn't take very much. Just throw that in there as well. It keeps the rice nice and moist and ready to go. In the microwave, lid on. Close her up, power level 10, 10, and then we go to 6 minutes and 30 seconds. 30 seconds when we start. Okay, we're just gonna finish up what we're doing over here, and we're gonna let that stand. We'll probably open up our mead and go from there. I'm gonna grab a spoon, I'm gonna taste it, and then see what I need to add, or if I need to at all. I need to sweeten it a bit. Okay, I'll just add some syrup. Just a little bit, just to break down the acidity and just give it a bit more of a sweet flavor to it. Doesn't take much. So I put in some maple syrup, the same syrup that I get from Quebec, and I really love that stuff. It's really delicious. Okay, so I added a little bit of sweetness. I still got it out. I'm gonna see if I put enough in there. Perfect. Wow. Get that heat, a little bit of sweet, and then all the spices and whatnot from the red Thai curry paste. It's really good. And then obviously the tomatoes, the garlic, and the onions all added to it. It's kind of warm and hearty. It's kind of a cloudy, kind of cool day out there. This is perfect. It's gonna be over rice. And we're gonna fry up some bread, and then we'll get the honey mead ready to go. So this is a traditional mead. This one is made from alfalfa and clover honey from the bees. And traditional mead has 3 ingredients. It has honey, water, and yeast, and that's how they make it. They ferment it. And it's one of the oldest forms of alcohol. Some people think that it's like a beer, but it's actually, it's a wine. It's basically honey wine. I'm gonna give it a shot. So you see these Celtic goblets, they sell them over at the Chinook Honey Company as well. My son's got my wife and I for one of these each for Christmas, and we love them. They're awesome, especially when you're drinking mead. Smells flowery. I'm gonna taste it. Oh man, it is sweet, and delicious. Wow, that is really good. We get the curry warmed up. We got the rice ready to go, the jasmine rice. We're gonna fry up the bread a little bit, just warm it up. We'll cut that, we'll plate it, and then we'll put this all together, and then we'll try the mead with the meal, see how it complements it. Just gonna grab this, grab the bread, throw that on there, over the side. Now with the bread, I don't add any liquid or anything to it. All I do is just heat it up in the pan and get it warmed up. It's all the flavors already there. I don't want to dry it out, I just want to warm it up. Get that going. So yeah, I got this ready. So when the bread is ready, we're just gonna cut that, and then I'll grab the curry, everything, and I'll grab a plate right now, and then we'll plate it all up, get it ready to go. Okay, I'm just gonna grab the a little hot plate here. I'm gonna throw the rice on there and get that ready as well. Wow, that's hot. Okay, get the camera out of the way. I gotta get the mitts. Come on, geez. Okay, it's too hot for my tender hands. That's good though, because it's been sitting there probably for about 5 minutes and it's still nice and warm. Look at this, watch. Ooh, perfect jasmine rice. In a microwave. So it's getting warm, so I'm gonna turn that over. Oh yeah, warm, but it's still moist. It's not drying it out. If I go much longer, it will dry it out, so you gotta be careful with that. This is still hot, ready to go. Man, this is coming together. You know what? I'm gonna use a bowl, not a plate. Okay, so this bread is ready. That's gonna be off, nice and hot, but it's still moist. It's not all dried out. And I just take this and I just cut it into manageable sizes. Make it look nice. Oh man, it smells really good. Just like that, keep it together. The rice, look at that, it's perfect. That's the perfect way to make rice. It doesn't take much. The old rice, throw it in there. Just take some of my curry, throw it right on top. That, maybe a little bit more. Throw that together, there you go. There you have it. All right, so now for the best part is we get to try this delicious dish. Hopefully it's delicious. So what we'll do, take a piece of this, just break it. Some of that nice jasmine rice. Wow. Now for the meat. Oh yeah, wow. So the sweet does really complement the flavor of the curry and the red Thai curry. There's so much flavor going on there with all the spices, and then when you get some of the mead, it all comes together. It really complements it. For any of your spicy dishes, make sure you head down to the Chinook Honey Company and check out the Chinook Arch Meadery that they have there. Pick up some Melissa's Gold. It's amazing mead, and it goes with this type of dish. Wonderful. Can't stop eating it. Well, what a great episode. We made some awesome food. I just wish you guys could all taste it and smell it, because the aromatics in this kitchen right now is incredible. We tried the Chinook Honey Company's mead from the Chinook Arch Meadery. It was wonderful and delicious. Make sure you check them out. And don't forget about 3G Embroidery. Put this together for me. They make hats and all that kind of stuff. They're a local company, so check them out. Hey, if you like what you're seeing, make sure you like or subscribe. That always keeps us going, keeps us motivated. Also, feel free to leave a comment. And thanks again, and we'll see you on the next episode.